I started Bambah around 4.5 years ago. It started off as a vintage boutique because I've been a collector for almost 9.5 years now. I travel the world and I collect vintage pieces, and I have a special place in my heart for vintage. So 4.5 years ago, I decided in Dubai can do with a vintage boutique because at that time there were no vintage stores in the Middle East in general, and vintage was still a hidden gem. So I decided to take the risk and start Bambah as a vintage boutique and test the water to see how it goes. And for the first 2.5 to 3 years, we did extremely well. We won 2 awards, and people's feedback was amazing. They loved it. They loved the idea that it's in a villa, it's not in a mall, and it's a very homey feeling. You make friends with your customers, so it was a very different shopping experience than what they were used to. So then, around a year ago, I started working on my own line, Bambah, ready to wear, and I launched the first collection in spring/summer 2015. With great success, and now I'm on to the second collection, which is fall/winter 15, titled The Red Ladybug. The first collection was called Orchid Daydreams, and it was basically inspired by the orchid flower. The DNA of the brand will always be traced back to Grace Kelly because I think she's so elegant, she's a beautiful feminine woman, and she's the definition of how vintage could meet modern nowadays. So I used to look at her for inspiration, and the collection had a lot of flowers, a lot of bows, a lot of polka dots. It's all 50s inspired, so like knit-in waist and big flowy skirts. It's also very special because I developed my own print. So the orchid print is something that we develop in-house and we print it on fabric. So again, there's this whole exclusivity element involved with it. The Bambah girl is a very elegant girl. She's very beautiful, very confident, loves to stand out, likes statement pieces, very daring, loves life, a very happy girl. So I feel like my message for women in general is when you look good and you feel good about yourself, you're more confident and you're basically ready to take on the world, which is something that I'm trying to do through Bambah.